Less than a week ago, I said I was selling my ETM RTR.
That was a lie.
I set her aside, we had a long conversation, and what I heard really surprised me.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
Not fucking leaving! You gotta understand, I am sentimentally melded to the bike at this point. Oh no. Must just be because it's hot. This is like a little half pipe bowl. This is so sick. Response for when I got the front wheel up, and I'm trying to hold that wheelie more than you need, actually, if you're not careful. Oh my God. Congratulations, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all look fantastic, by the way.
Well, that's like the worst case scenario. I went to grab this sucker by the grab handle, so confident that it was closed, and it's clearly not.
Take a little break here, a little breather while these cars pass. Not that I'm embarrassed that my bike don't run, but well, I'm kind of embarrassed that my bike don't run. Makes a lot more of a mess than supermotos, which just slide. What are you eating over there? You're being stinky. Tis time to reinstall all of the upgrades and custom parts that I removed from this bike. Is it a tremendous waste of time? Would it have been more efficient just to know in my heart of hearts that there was no way I was gonna sell this bike? Yes, it would have. Do I get to know the intricacies of this bike, the ins and outs, where every bolt and plug is by uninstalling and reinstalling parts many times? Yes, I do. More specifically, what we're doing today, there was a little bit of squeaks and moans and groans coming up out of the, I do believe the rear shock. So I got a little tube of grease here, some paint brushes, just gonna dab and dollop a little grease around that rear shock to make it shut the fuck up a little bit. Obviously I was kidding when I said I was gonna glaze it in WD-40. All this is going back on, shift lock, the white side plates, the trail pack, AC converter with the RGB underglow, the headlight kit. Why did I uninstall this stuff? The stickers for the side. That's a hair dryer. Harley needs a bath today. Let's kick it into productivity gear. Also did get a fresh box of plastics, as it is recommended from Electro & Co. to get an entire set of plastics rather than just replacing one piece. I had broken off fender, the rear tail. By looping the bike not on it, I thought it was off and whiskey throttled the hell out of it, did a little cartwheel backflip kind of thing. That's not how the subframe got bent. That was me on the bike. Anyway, I do have extra plastics whenever I decide to, I guess, refresh Betty's looks, or I could always spray paint those a special color. Last little piece of frustration is the fact that I cannot put the 14-inch street tires or supermotos back on this bike without ordering another part thing for Betty. I did indeed get the Revolver Alpha motor with the 420 chain conversion kit because I removed a couple of links to make the thick chain fit on the stock pit bike tires, which I was gonna sell the bike with. And now I don't have a long enough durable chain to put my street tires back on. Did the only logical thing and bought the upgraded motor pack with the thicker chain. Logic has not been in the cards for this build, but it has been a very fun bike to ride. I want to give my thoughts on the high and low rise bars because I have ran both for quite extensively on this bike, and they both feel good. This is an oversimplification, but if you're ripping some motocross / supercross kind of track, low rise bars are fantastic. If you're doing street riding / wheelies or some slow technical stuff like unmaintained trails or hard enduro, I do recommend the high rise bars. Or if you're just a tall son of a gun, like 6 foot or above. And while the high-rise bars aren't super expensive on the Electro & Co site, $60, I have seen them out of sale, and there is pretty much a virtually identical knockoff of a Pro Taper bar. It just says Pit Bike here, just some generic shit off Amazon. With tax and shipping, I believe it was $42 for a high-rise bar as opposed to the $60 plus tax and shipping from Electro. So that is a cheaper option, and the metal feels the same. The rise and bends are pretty much identical to a Pro Taper. I do have 2 different flavors of grease here. I do believe this came with an electric scooter for the hub motors, and this came with maybe the RTR or the E-Ride, some kind of an E-Moto style device. Took a little whiff for some reason, just a pinch and a whiff. This is some stinky, stinky grease. I have got to be honest about something, so why don't you come a little closer to me. I am terrible with my money. My original little slick ass behind the scenes YouTuber, this is gonna make sick ass content kind of plan, was that I was gonna sell Betty. I was gonna ask 4K, which is very reasonable. It's a Gen 1 RTR with a 6+7 TrueMoto controller, 35 amp hour mod pack battery, lightweight sprocket, and then also sell a bundle of the stock Betty parts, which I still have those for sale on Facebook Marketplace, the parts that is. Put down a down deposit, or no, heck, screw that. I told you I'm bad with my money. I was just gonna pay it all right up front, buy the bike and not even get to touch it for like a month and a half. Order one of those new RTR XLs or extra larges. It has longer forks, longer swing arm, comes with the big wheel kit, which is currently out of stock right now, so I couldn't even get that for Betty, my standard size RTR, if I wanted, and even if I did, it wouldn't be proper dirt bike geometry because the swing arm, forks, and rear fender are longer on the XL to where it doesn't look like monster truck tires on a tiny mini bike. Furthermore than that, the XL comes with the Revolver motor and better brakes. The brakes, that is a big complaint with my standard RTR. They work, they stop you, but they don't feel good, and feel and modulation is incredible. That's literally one of the main reasons, that and the tiny wheelbase, that I get a little nervous coming back to balance point on that bike. So no RTR XL for me, because thinking about it long and deep, this is, you know, meditation by a koi pond kind of thing. The reason I bought the RTR in the first place was because it was small. If I want a bigger ripper, I have the E-Ride. If I want to get something bigger than that, I'll get an Ultra B, or something bigger than that, maybe a Varg. Different sizes of E-Motos, electric dirt bikes. But I think the E-Ride's perfect. The RTR is perfect for the kind of situations that I get it in. I've rode that thing on the beach boardwalk, through a wedding downtown, in a bunch of rides with OneWheels and unicycles and electric skateboards, and it doesn't feel so scary that I'm riding a 135-pound electric dirt bike that can go 60 miles an hour with all these little smaller rippers. It kind of just works in those situations. But I did buy another bike, another electric ripper that will fit those rides, those scenarios better, those downtown rides, or anything where I don't need to be ripping hardcore on a trail or getting off of a stoplight with nut-busting acceleration. I did pre-order, or technically it's a full-blown order, but there is a lead time of 6 weeks, so it's one of those things I give you almost $4,000 and don't get shit. But don't get anything for 6 weeks other than my hopes and dreams that it's really going to be as cool as it looks when I get it. But the company OneWheel, or Future Motion, their parent company, has released their take on a bike. It's based on a 70s mini bike, but electric, and can wheelie itself using OneWheel self-balancing technology. It looks really freaking cool. Like cosmetically, that was one of the things that drew me to it, was just how cool the thing looks. And the auto wheelie thing, obviously it's not like a real wheelie where you're using throttle and then brake to keep you back down. You just have to worry about side to side balance, and you can even go no-handed, and the bike it's acting like a one wheel where it's going to hold you up in a wheelie. You set the angle in the application. It looks like a really cool bike. That company does not have a military or first responder, any kind of that type of discount. I did email them and check prior to. Electro & Co does Mil7 for 7% off for you heroes out there. A civilian with a hero's heart, use Humble5 for 5% off. That's my exclusive discount code for Electro & Co products. The Antic will be here in about 5 weeks now. I did get the long range battery pack and the performance tire upgrade. So of course the most expensive, highest end flagship. I told you I'm out of my money. I was not bluffing. sweetheart. It's a full house of toys, and you better get ready to flush my credit card. The E-Ride and the RTR, as those are electric dirt bikes, I'm gonna start taking them to more situations, scenarios, and environments that will fit them. There is off-road parks all around me, some of them very close, so I'm gonna be just trailering, taking the E-Ride and the RTR to dirt bike parks instead of just ripping it on the road, the street, because there's legislation here in Florida now. It's got, what happened in California a couple of years ago was happening here. The e-bikes, they cracking down. I said e-bikes, not e-motos. It is all electric things, including pedal bikes and all that. They're starting to get real hot-assed in certain areas. So I'll just be riding my dirt bikes more so, probably on the dirt. And then the Antic little mini bike, probably them downtown rides. Thank you for watching this video. Drop in the comments section below what you think of this manic move, announcing to the internet I was gonna sell a bike, and then 5 days later being like, nah.
Nah, that's what it says. Yeah.
I didn't even post the listing because I looked at it and it smelled so good to me. I just started thinking about all those sick rides and how much fun I have on that bike, and the fact that it is smaller than the E-Ride but still feels like a capable e-moto, electric dirt bike. It does some insane things underneath you when you're comfortable with it. Wheelies, stoppies, ripping trails. It can do it all. It would behoove me to keep it in the stable of toys.